We're going to finish chapter 3 here of Fortune Falls, published with permission from Scholastic Inc. With Petey silenced, I could make out 3 high-pitched voices growing louder as the girls drew closer. I peeked out from my hiding spot just as Felicia Kahn stopped walking. She stooped over to pick something off the ground and then straightened up with a tall, shiny coin in her hand. All 3 girls let out ear-splitting squeals. "I can't believe it," Sabrina said. "That is your second one today. You are so lucky." The smile on her face couldn't hide her envy. Sabrina may have had fairy tale golden locks and a cute little elfin nose, but even among those with luck, fortune seemed allotted by degrees, and everybody wanted more. Betsy Williams was with them too, but unlike Sabrina, she had no chance of usurping Felicia's role as Fortune Falls' most favorited darling. "You're the luckiest," Betsy said, wistfully, mirroring my thoughts exactly. I really could have used that lucky penny. Felicia didn't deny what Betsy had said. Instead, she appeared to be attempting a demure smile, but like most everything about Felicia, it came off looking smug. She sighed loudly. "I can't believe Cooper hasn't asked me to the Friday the 13th dance already. But since he hasn't, this would be a very good day to bump into him. I mean, 2 lucky pennies in one day. There's no way he can resist me." Felicia flicked her silky black ponytail over her left shoulder. Her flawless ivory complexion nearly gleamed in the late afternoon sun. My heart sank. I wouldn't blame Cooper if he asked her. He deserved to go to the dance with the luckiest girl in town, and it's not like I could even attend if he asked me. There was the matter of his parents actually forbidding him from hanging out with me. Even though the dance fell on my birthday this year, they would never allow him to spend it in my company. And then, of course, the Friday the 13th dance was really just a slap in the face to the unluckiest. It was too dangerous for any of us to even dream of going outside that day. I noticed then that Betsy was frozen in place, petrified as she examined all the memorials adorning the path. Felicia seemed to notice too. "You go first, Betsy. That way if you have trouble, we can go for help," she said. I wondered if what she really meant was, if you have trouble, we won't get stuck in the middle of it. Any help Felicia and Sabrina could go for would arrive too late. I felt sorry for Betsy as she timidly stepped forward. Like Cooper, Betsy had always been on the fringe, in that gray area. Certainly not unlucky, but with no kismet to spare either. I wondered why Felicia even kept Betsy around. Maybe it was because next to Betsy, she could shine even more brightly without any real risk of misfortune spilling over onto Felicia's shoes, ruining her dressy patent leather flats. Betsy must not have been moving quickly enough for Felicia, because she reached out and gave her friend a little nudge. Terror flooded Betsy's dull brown eyes, but she sucked in a large breath of air, then bravely darted across the path, running directly in front of the falling down twisted iron gates. I couldn't help but hold my breath right along with her. "You know she's never going to pass the spring luck test, don't you?" Sabrina said to Felicia once Betsy was out of earshot. Felicia chuckled snidely. "Of course I do. But if everyone passed, that would sort of defeat the purpose. Do you know what she wasted her birthday wish on?" Sabrina shook her head. "I'll tell you later. Right now, I need to find a certain boy before the luck from this penny wears off." Felicia sucked in her breath and bolted past the gates. Sabrina did the same. When I was certain they were gone, I let out a long sigh. "Climb down, Petey, please," I said, reaching up to take hold of the first branch. It snapped off in my hand, and I fell backward, my head landing with a loud thunk on a rock beneath the tree. The branch fell on top of me, knocking the wind out of my lungs. Petey clambered down with ease and was beside me before the world came back into focus. "Sadie, are you okay?" I would have nodded my head, but it was throbbing. I shoved the branch off my stomach so I could breathe again. "I will be," I said, and then murmured to myself, "this time." Petey helped me to my feet, although really it was more just me holding onto his hand as I struggled to find solid footing, waiting for the scenery to stop spinning. I noticed that my little brother was trembling beside me. His eyes were darting back and forth between me and the entrance to the cemetery we still had to pass. "It'll be all right. Just give me a minute." After a short pause, when the earth had finally stopped roiling beneath me, I added, "On the count of 3? Petey nodded. We counted together, then sucked in as much air as either of us could hold. As we raced past the old iron gate, I glanced down at my little brother with his cheeks all puffed out with air. Maybe failing the luck test wasn't the worst thing that could happen. Maybe it would even be for the better if I was sent off to Baines, for Petey's sake at least. Nothing terrified me more than the thought that my bad luck might cause him to meet the same fate as our father. All right, come back to the next video for Chapter 4.